Good afternoon. It would normally be morning, but good afternoon today. We are live for an episode of Dazed, Confused, and Generally Buggered. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for being patient as well. With the weather being the way it is at the moment, and it is sucky outside, the weather absolutely sucks. I wasn't able to take Max out for a walk this morning, which means I wasn't able to tire him out, which means his legs weren't tired, he wasn't tired. So come 11 o'clock when he's normally absolutely sparkoed, he wasn't because, well, yeah, he hadn't been for his walk. So we did lots of playing. I did all sorts of stuff trying to tire him out. Just nothing worked. Just had to let him tire himself out. And then about 15 minutes ago, he finally started to chill, gave him his milk, and he's out. He's out, Sparkcode. Brilliant. Which means we can go live, we can chat, we can answer your questions and help you as much as possible with your social media and video questions as I possibly can do. Going to chat a little bit about YouTube today, also answer some of your questions as well. Also, potentially, I need to message the chap again, but hopefully we're going to have somebody live on the stream today. That would be pretty cool as well. I'm not sure if... no, I didn't have computer problems, Miles, although I do have internet problems. I had getting Max to sleep problems was the issue. So I'm just going to invite the person that I invited previously back to the stream again. And hopefully they can come and join us as well, and we can have a chat with them. I want to invite as many people as possible to come and chat on the streams every single day. So if like 6 or 7 of you want to chat, let's get you live on the stream. Let's chat. Let's talk about your social media problems, your brand, your business, whatever it is you want me to answer questions about, and we'll do our best to answer as many of them as we possibly can do. So we are currently live on a bunch of different places, as always. We are live on my Facebook group, How to 9 Times Your Social Media, where you can also download your free copy of my book, which is called How to 9 Times Your Social Media. Funny that. There is also a live stream going on right now on the Perception Studios UK website, not website, on Facebook page. That's my business right there. If you don't know who I am Simon Scholes, the founder and creative director of Perception Studios, and we're an award-winning visual marketing agency, and we help brands and businesses create social media content that kind of helps them stand out a little bit better than the usual template stuff that you might see from other people. Completely bespoke, great ideas and all that kind of stuff. We also are live currently on YouTube, on Periscope, Twitter, and on Twitch as well. So if you've got any questions on any of those platforms, chuck them out. I'll answer as many of them as I possibly can do. I need to flip between screens now and again because not every single stream allows you to see the questions and stuff people are saying. But anyway, let's go to the comments quickly and have a look, see who is there. Right now we've got Miles. Miles Keegan is watching at the moment, saying it's strange time still, but we will all fight for this for sure. Absolutely. It is weird, isn't it? This is a very weird situation that we're all in. Yeah, it's a very odd one. Miles Keegan asking, how do you get to stream on live video chats? All you've got to do is just chuck me a question, say you're happy to be on the live stream, and then we can do it that way. Ed McIntyre is here. He says, oh, you're live. Hello. I did just drop you a message, actually, Ed, because Ed is hopefully still able to. We don't know for sure, but fingers crossed Ed is still able to join us. I've sent him the new link for basically joining us, so fingers crossed he can use that and come and join us. Miles, if you're wondering what software it is that I use a piece of software called StreamYard, and StreamYard pushes out to 5 different streams. And so at the moment, I'm using those 5 different streams. Once I get LinkedIn into the process, because unfortunately LinkedIn I still can't go live on, then I will get them on, and I will probably push out Twitch because I don't really have an audience on Twitch. I'm just using it while I do. Might as well use all 5 streams. You're paying for it, so why not? Anyway. So as always, I want to answer your questions. I had a question yesterday from Yana Green who wanted to ask more about YouTube and how you can build an audience on YouTube and keep people interested in your content and that kind of stuff, and any tips that I had. So I'm going to go over a few of those. We're going to have a chat with Ed. It's going to be a great stream. So let's get started. Taking a look at some of the questions that have already come in. Miles is asking about drones. For what content? What kind of drone can I use for videos, and what sort of cameras are there on the market? So there's all sorts. let's be honest, there are loads and loads of different drones. Personally, if you have no experience of flying a drone, number one, start looking at the DJI range. DJI are absolutely brilliant. They make GPS controlled drones so that you don't have to worry too much about being a proficient flyer. They're really cool. Even the Spark films in 1080p and it's really small. I think it's kind of no bigger than my phone. It's like no bigger than an iPhone 11 and the arms fold in. It's a quadcopter rather than anything bigger than that. And yeah, that's kind of ideal. It gets blown around in the wind, obviously, so you have to be careful what type of machine you're flying in different weathers and all that kind of stuff. But there are hundreds of drones available on the market. Like I say, I would probably look at DJI to start with. They're sensibly priced, and like the Spark isn't that expensive. The Mavic obviously is quite expensive, so it's like the Phantom 4 and all those kind of things. But you could pick up something cheap on eBay as well. Just make sure that it's been serviced properly and looked after properly, and you'll be able to fly it. The one thing I will say right now, though, if you are going to fly a drone and you're going to use it for content on YouTube and your YouTube channel is monetized, that is commercial use. So if you have a monetized YouTube channel, it's commercial use because you're going to be making money from it. Therefore, you have to have what's called a PFCO in the UK, permission for commercial operation. There are different certificates available in different countries, but you have to get permission to be able to fly commercially to make money from your content. Otherwise, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble. So make sure you have, if you're in the UK, a PFCO. If you're in any other country, make sure you have the equivalent of that so that you can make content that will allow you to make money from the content that you're putting out. And in the UK, to give you a rough idea of what they class as commercially viable, even if you have no license and you fly for a friend and you survey their farmland, and that farm then goes on to make more money, you are still classed as flying commercially. That's how stringent the rules are. So make sure you understand what the law is in your country, the laws where you are, and also just the general laws of flying as well. Things like staying 50 meters away from people, further away if you're in a group of more than 1,000, although right now, nobody is in a group of more than 1,000. But those kind of things, really understand the law so that you don't get yourself into trouble, because there are some hefty fines out there. And in some countries, even imprisonment. So just really be very, very careful of what you're going on to do. What kind of camera to vlog as well? I like watching Mr. George Benson on YouTube as he's still stuck in Bali. He is still stuck in Bali. My friend George Benson is a vlogger and a football creator. Really, really cool creator. Go check him out. But anyway, he's stuck in Bali at the moment. Well, I say stuck. It's those worst places to be stuck, isn't it? But what kind of camera to vlog on? Whatever camera you've got to hand, Miles. I would not suggest anybody go out and spend a small fortune unless they have the money to spend on loads and loads of kit. Whatever it is that you're looking to create, whether it be vlogs, whether it be brand content, whether it be this kind of thing going live, don't spend loads of money. Get yourself into a position where you can spend some money. If you've got loads of cash, don't get me wrong, if you've got loads of cash, feel free. Go and buy a Canon G7X or a Sony RX100 or whatever you want to buy. But don't just feel you have to because other people who are creators have great kit. You don't need great kit to create great content. The value within the content is what's great. So what is it that, think about what is it that you get from other people that makes you want to watch their content? It's the value within it. It's the entertainment value. It's not necessarily how good it looks. Sometimes that's nice, but it's not important. So just, yeah, don't feel like you have to get really expensive kit to make really cool content. I'm going to try something now, which I've not tried ever before. We're going to go live with somebody else. Let's add somebody to the stream. Hello, Ed. Hopefully I can hear you. Can I hear you? I can't hear you. There we go. Excellent.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well indeed, thank you. Ed, tell everybody who you are, where you are, what you do, all that kind of stuff.
Well, at the moment, I'm stuck in my house, as everyone is. Do want to say, before we chat about anything, everyone who's watching or listening, make sure you're following all the advice, staying inside, because that's what we should be doing. It's the right thing. So hopefully everyone's all doing well. Just stay inside. But yeah, I'm Ed. I'm from Leeds, and I run my own. It started out with a YouTube channel. Now it's going into a bit of a brand. Really, it's called All Things Leeds.
Before you go anywhere, Ed, you live in Leeds.
Yes,
Leeds or Hull. I'm a Hull man, so
Well, Leeds is actually Yorkshire, isn't it?
It is. So is Hull. Hull is Yorkshire.
Nah, it's not. It's not. It's not.
East Yorkshire. Anyway, I'll forgive you. Carry on. Sorry. Anyway, you were saying.
But yeah, that was a YouTube channel, but then I've kind of just expanded really onto Facebook, Twitter, and stuff. And it's kind of like a big brand. It's recognised amongst Leeds United fans, and it's basically just a news site really because I'm studying sports journalism at university, final year, and that's kind of with all this coronavirus stuff, it's just kind of put a massive spanner in the works. Really,
how's that working for you then? Do you still have your final exams? Will you still?
Yeah, well, it's
have all of that.
Yeah, well, I had no exams. It was all just coursework, so we still got that to do. If it was exams, then I don't know how that was all going to work out. But yeah, coursework, still doing that. But it's just really annoying because a lot of people have this kind of they have this idea about university students. They don't really turn up. They just go out partying all the time. Well, I did turn up. I enjoyed going to uni, and I always took advantage of the one-on-one sessions with tutors. So we haven't got that anymore. So all just emails. So it's really annoying. We don't have as much. Don't have as much support as we did before, and so it is really annoying, especially for final year as well, because this should be the most exciting time for us. Really, graduation's coming up. That's now being postponed. Kind of thing, So yeah.
Yeah. So what is it you want to do once you've graduated? Then where do you want to go with the journalism?
Well, obviously, sports journalism. So just get into journalism. My main passion is radio. So that's why I started a podcast with what I'm doing because, just to show my radio skills basically. So yeah, radio's a big passion. Of course, I can do TV stuff, and also I'm quite good at writing as well. So just any job in sports journalism, really.
Blow your trumpet, absolutely, 100%. So what kind of stuff do you do on social then? What kind of things do you do to try and? So first of all, what's the name of the brand? What's the name of
All Things Leeds? It's called All Things Leeds. Yeah, I launched it in January 2017, and we've got a lot of Leeds United content creators now, which is fantastic. But I was one of the first few in 2017, and I basically started it. I didn't start thinking, I could make some money out of this. I started it to make a big portfolio of work, so I can potentially get jobs in journalism in the future. So yeah, I was at college and just thought, what, I'll just start a YouTube channel. So that's what I did, and we mainly focus on video work. But going through university, we have a lot of facilities available. We've got the radio studio, so I started a podcast, and then. So a few times I went months without uploading anything, but then just this one time, I think it was 2018, I just thought, I'm just going to relaunch it. So I created a bunch of new graphics. I used to Photoshop a free trial for 7 days and just created loads of new graphics. Just created a load of new graphics and just relaunched it. And I opened up a Twitter page, a Facebook page, and also an Instagram page as well, and been posting on that, regularly since 2018. So been doing well recently.
Brilliant. And obviously Leeds are doing pretty well in the football as well. So although obviously there is no football at the moment, but there's still a chance they might get promoted at some point if the season actually finishes off. So where do you see the brand going? What do you want to do with the brand? Is there anything I can help with? Maybe some ideas or what have you? Or
well, I understand most things really in terms of what to post out on social media and stuff. It's just about doing it really, because I've got university work to look at. I've also got other work as well, so it's kind of just a hobby really. So just finding the time. It's not a proper business that I'm just running. I don't rely on it. So I just need to do more on it really. It would be amazing to earn some money from it. And my YouTube channel is got 1,000 subscribers recently, so I can now do super chats on YouTube. So I'm going to be live streaming a lot more. See if that can get some money in. Also going to launch a Patreon as well. I think that would be a good way. But of course, it would be nice to make some money, but that wasn't the main aim of opening the channel. It's just a portfolio of work really. So I do strive for perfection. I know that you don't really, you just want people to get started. You're not too bothered about perfection. The reason I don't post as much as what I probably should is because I strive for perfection, because I want work to stand out really.
And I can kind of yeah, I kind of understand why, because you're wanting to use it as your portfolio. Maybe what you need to do is maybe take a step back and go, right, okay, what pieces have I got that are really outstanding? Use those as your portfolio pieces, but remember that if you want to do it as a business, I mean, you might not. You might just be happy doing it as a side hustle or whatever you want to call it, like a side hobby, making a few quid out of it and just enjoying it. But if you do want to push it, but you also want to still also push the sports journalism side of it, the two do marry up really well together. So you could actually really go to town on pushing out more and more content. So not worrying about that perfection side of things, but putting out stuff that's really going to interest people. So obviously you maybe want to write reports properly. So what you would do is, for example, George Benson. So George Benson will do a piece of content about Chelsea when Chelsea have played, and he'll do it video-wise. Well, you could do the same aspect for Leeds, but then you could write a report, which would be your perfect piece of content. You see what I'm trying to say? So you could always have that imperfect content and then the perfect content connected to the imperfect content.
Yeah.
So
I've been doing that a lot more often now as well, because we don't have like facilities available. So I haven't really focused on perfect content now. It's just whatever I can make, I'm putting it out now. So I'm now going to start using StreamYard for my podcast. We're recording podcast later this afternoon. So recently, past few months, I haven't been striving for.
How are you finding interaction then? So perfect compared to imperfect, how are you finding the interaction?
Well, the interaction was definitely better when I had really good videos on. Because now it's just I was using Skype before, and that just diminishes the quality a lot. So I wasn't, I don't think too many people were watching. It's got a lot less views for certain. But hopefully using StreamYard, the audio quality seems to be a lot better. I've tested it a few times, so it seems to be a lot better. So hopefully that gets people watching a lot more. Of course, I'm going to start doing a quiz as well, so I can get loads more people on. So hopefully that can get some people in, because right now people just want to watch something now, don't they? Something entertaining.
They want something different, and this is where you could really go to town on content specifically around Leeds as well. I mean, you could do Leeds United quizzes. You could try and get in touch with Leeds and get Leeds players on talking about what they're up to in quarantine and all that kind of stuff. There's all these things you could do. All you got to do is just reach out. I mean, have you done much reaching out to Leeds themselves at all, and maybe just said, look, I run this channel. It's quite popular. Any chance we could have a chat with, even if it was the under-18s team and things like that, just up and coming talent and stuff? You could do interviews via StreamYard or what have you.
Yeah, well, I've got a lot of contacts, and I know this person who's pretty much a Leeds United walking encyclopedia. Really, he knows everything. So he's going to join me on the quiz. He's going to be the quiz master. But no, I probably do need to contact my club, but it's very hard because I know them already, the media managers and stuff, and it's very hard for them to just even see emails and let alone for them to reply to and get something out. So, but I do a lot of work at Farsley Celtic, and there's a few players there who are Leeds United fans. So,
all right.
So we're getting them on.
Just remember that it's a quieter time for them right now, though. So
yeah, that's true.
You've got a better opportunity now than seeing your email or your DM on Twitter or what have you than you ever have before. So yeah, definitely make good use of the time, definitely, as well as doing all your uni work as well. And yeah, fingers crossed with the graduation later on this year.
Cheers. I'd say right now, for anyone who's debating about creating content, I think right now is the most perfect time to start creating content, because we're stuck inside. We got everything. You don't need perfect content because people aren't too bothered about that now. They just want something to watch, something to do. So right now is the absolute perfect time to just start creating stuff.
Absolutely, and there's so many people creating content right now, doing something creative as well. There's so many people doing different things like indoor discos and request shows and, like you say, quizzes and like just like there's a guy I know who holds a pub chat. So literally everybody gets a drink on a Friday afternoon at the end of the working week, and they sit down and have a drink and chat on Zoom, and that's it. And he just has little breakout rooms people go off to, and then they come back to the main room and then go off to another breakout room, and so they all get to chat to each other and a bit of business networking. But it's just trying to put some normality back into life when it's all
exactly weird, because it is pretty horrible right now. I do want to share a few tips though. So for podcasting, I certainly think, because I watched your chat with the guy who does his
Oh,
podcast stuff the
yeah,
other
yeah,
day, and he was saying that the equipment you need is a microphone for starting a podcast. I don't think so. I think you can just use your phone.
Mhm.
I agree with you. I echo your thoughts on that. You can just use your phone. I wouldn't use headphones to record audio. I'd use the the built-in microphone on your phone. The thing I'd focus on with starting a podcast is the space you're going to record in. Mostly because if you've got a lot of background noise, I won't listen to it. If it's good enough, but it's it's very quiet around you and it sounds good, so as you say, sticking your head under the duvet, certainly listen to it. I wouldn't use voice memos though. I'd download this app on iPhone. It's completely free. It's called TW Recorder.
All right, okay. We need to check this one out.
So basically, when you go on it, you press the X in the bottom corner, and then you got a few options there.
Okay.
So you can pick stereo, and then you've got a lot of options there. So you can start recording. So it's recording now.
Put that up. So it's called TW Audio, is it? Yeah.
TW Recorder.
TW Recorder. 1 second. Let's edit that. And is it just on iPhone or is it available on everything?
I don't know if it's on Android, but I certainly know that it is on iPhone. But yeah, basically, you can edit your audio inside. I mainly use it for just editing the intro and outro, but you can really get down into it and just edit. So I've got all those gaps there. I could just edit all that out. So it's a very good software, and then you just email it to yourself, and it's completely free. There's a few things that you can pay for in the app, which I've done, but I don't really use that. It's completely free, so I definitely use that over voice memos for sure.
Cool. That's yeah. There you go. I've learned something myself today, so I'll give that a go later on. I'll download it. And does it allow you to play with the EQ and all that kind of stuff as well?
Yeah, you can change. Cool. The gain, the sound, and at the end you just email it to yourself, and then you can do what you want with it.
Cool.
Of course, you can just edit on your laptop as well if you prefer to do that. But no, it's a very good app. Very good app. And also for repurposing as well. So for podcasts, what I do is I'd use go online, just search Spearmint Headliner, and then you can just
the other day,
you can put a still image on, then stick waveforms on, and I on social media probably do no longer than 90-second clips really from podcasts, just so people can listen to your important stuff and then go and listen to the full thing. So
exactly,
that's good for repurposing.
60 seconds is even better because then you can use it on Instagram as well, and on TikTok and other places like that too. Miles, awesome. I've learned something, and it was good chatting to you. Not Miles, sorry, Ed. I was just reading another comment from Miles there. It was good chatting to you, and thank you so much for coming on. And I've learned something, and I'm going to go download that, and I'll stay in touch on Twitter anyway, and all that, and
definitely.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you that Leeds get promoted later on this year, just as I'm sure you're keeping your fingers crossed that Liverpool win the Premier League.
No, I'm not so bothered about that. Just as long as Leeds United go up. So as long as Leeds United go up.
Fair enough. Cheers, Ed. Take care.
All right, cheers. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Awesome, and that works really well. I'm pretty happy with that. That's cool. So if you want to come and join me at all on the stream, as you can see, Ed did a grand job there, and that was really cool. That was really nice to chat to him. We've spoken quite a lot on Twitter, and he's been on the streams and stuff like that a fair bit. So yeah, oh man, I can't think of anything worse than being in my graduation year. And to be fair, I never went to my graduation thing. I didn't bother. But I can't think of anything worse than potentially going to graduate and not being able to go to graduation. Anyway, so any more questions, please do feel free to stick them in the comments today. If you want to come and join me on the live stream, just let me know what your question is and that you're happy to be on the live stream, and we'll get you invited in privately, and then you can come and join me. As I promised, I want to chat to you a little bit about videos and what you can do to make your video content better. Now, I've kind of spoken about these fairly regularly anyway, but we're going to go over them again. So yesterday we spoke about blogging. Today I want to chat to you about video, and specifically live video as well. The reason I try and push my clients and people to do live video is because there is nothing worse than making mistakes. And as we were just chatting about with Ed, people will create a video, so they'll have themselves on video and they'll go, "Hi, oh no, I don't like that one. Start again. Hi, oh no. Hi guys, welcome to the video. Oh no," and they'll just stop and start and stop and start and keep making mistakes, and then you'll never put out any content. What I want you to do is get over that initial phase of like, oh, it's got to be perfect. And doing live is the ideal way of doing that. Now, let's be honest, if you go live right now on your Facebook group, unless you have a massive Facebook group with loads of great interaction on there, the chances are when you go live, nobody's going to watch it, or a very small audience are going to watch it. So if you're making mistakes, it doesn't matter. It's the value within the content anyway. And if you and or even say a bad word, it doesn't matter. Just keep going, because you can't stop with a live. And that's why I try to encourage people to do live content. Also, if you go live, it's actually favored by the algorithm on things like Facebook, on YouTube as well, and on lots of other platforms. They actually favor the live content because it's their own software creating that live moment. And so you're live on their software right now and they're like, oh, brilliant, you're great, you're using our software regularly and you're using it properly and you're using the stuff that we like. And so they push your content out to more people. So that's why I encourage to go live. If you really are absolutely adamant against going live, use your phone to record a video instead. You can get a nice little stand like this, a little tripod. I don't have it handy with me, it's in the other room and I'm not going to disappear for 5 minutes to go find it, but you get little little stands on the top. It's like a mobile phone stand. You put the phone in there and you talk to the phone and record it. Now then, tip number one, apart from that probably being a tip, is do it that way, not that way. Unless you're creating content all the time for TikTok or Snapchat, it's not that way is not important. Record that way, because then it will fill the screen on Facebook, it will fill the screen on YouTube, and then you can take that piece of content and you can edit it to work for things like TikTok or what have you, because you can do that, but you don't film like that. There's nothing worse than watching a video on YouTube or on Facebook and there's big black lines down the side. It just, I don't know, it's just something wrong about it. I don't know why, it just is wrong. So please film in landscape, not in portrait, unless you're using the portrait video specifically for things like Instagram stories, Snapchat, TikTok, that kind of thing. Let's have a quick look at the comments right now. Ed, who was just on the show, is another thing he's thinking of doing is just recording him reading his articles to put out into a podcast feed like a voice-over person. So okay, so a little bit like audiobooks, but audiobooks of your blogs. Absolutely. One of the things I kind of encourage people to do is write a blog and then do content on that blog anyway. So maybe you could just voice over the actual blog itself, or maybe it would be better if you actually just turn the blog into a podcast, but rather than actually reading it word for word, take those main points out, which is what I try and encourage people to do, because then you're not scripted. It doesn't sound like you're reading, because there's something puts people off, people about their content being read to them, unless they specifically have purchased something that's been read. It's really weird. I don't know how the brain works. My boss used to explain it as like a yellow spot at the back of your head, and psychologically it doesn't work right for you, so you stop what it is that you're doing and go on to doing something completely different. In our case then, it was working with audio in shops, and if the audio didn't work for the brand and for the environment, then people would go, well, that really doesn't fit this, and no, I'm leaving. So be careful about it. Just maybe make people fully aware that you're going to read it verbatim beforehand, or like I say, create content that's around the blog itself, so that you're talking in your own words rather than talking in the words that you've written. Because not everybody, like I say, writes like I do. You're doing a journalism degree. There's a very good chance you write properly, unlike me. So you've probably written in a way that wouldn't be how you would speak, whereas I write how I would speak. Anyway, I think it's a really good idea. I really do. Just make sure people are aware that you're going to read the blog beforehand. So yeah, make them aware. Anyway, going back to video content. So we've already spoken about not portrait, please landscape. Also, we have the issue that I've spoken about many, many times, and I know we are all absolutely gorgeous people, but when you are talking to the camera, the audience is there, they are not there. They are behind the lens, they are not behind the screen. Your face is on the screen, and yes, like I say, you are a beautiful person, and I could look at the screen all day long because I am so handsome, but my audience is not there, my audience is here. Right there, you see, I'm tapping you right now. So what is the point in talking to the screen? Because it's like being in a pub with your mates or somebody that you don't know and you're at networking and they're talking at you over your shoulder because they're more interested about what's going on behind you right now. It's so uncomfortable. Talk to your audience, talk to where they are. Now, I told this story the other day. If you weren't on the live stream, you'll have missed it. When I worked in radio, my very first ever snoop, which is when your boss sits you down and listens to your content and says, this is good, this is bad, whatever. Most of mine was shit, but he did say one of the things that I had to kind of get over was talking at the audience rather than talking to them. And that's what this is all about. You want to talk to the audience. The audience is there. The audience is not here. So don't talk at them, talk to them. That level of conversation with somebody when right now I'm the only one in this room, there's nobody else in here. So you're not conversing back to me. I can't hear you laughing. I can't hear you crying. I can't hear you booing at the screen. I can't hear you telling me to shut up or any of those type of things. So how do I get over that point and actually learn to talk to the audience rather than at them? And so what I did was I took a soft toy and I stuck it behind the microphone on the windowsill behind it. And I spoke to the soft toy sat on the windowsill. And instantly I was able to feel a bit more of a connection with the audience because I had something to talk to. And I know the microphone is something to talk to, but it's not really anybody, is it? It's a thing, it's just there. Whereas the teddy bear was something that I could talk to, that's somebody I could talk to. So I put the teddy bear behind the microphone. And it just made a massive difference instantly. So what I'm suggesting to you, maybe not a teddy bear, but you could get a photograph of a loved one or a best friend or one of your kids or whatever it is, and put that photograph behind the lens. So obviously not in front because that would happen. Put it behind the lens and then just talk. So if I pretend my hand is right now a photograph of my best friend, I'm still talking to the lens. I'm still talking to you behind the camera, but I'm also talking to the photograph, or my hand in this case, which is behind the lens. And that's all you've got to do. You just put that photograph there and it will just break that boundary down. Now, the photograph's never going to respond to you. So you have to remember to take a chance to breathe. When I very first did live television and I watched it back, it was like watching me do a radio show on TV. Because in radio, there's very much a situation of dead air is bad air, because if you stop speaking, they don't know what it is that you're doing because they can't see you. Obviously, in video, that's very different. So you can stop from time to time. You can give people a chance to digest what it is that you've got to say. So don't feel you have to talk at a million miles an hour and make sure that you fill every single second, because every single second, if it's any dead air, then it's bad air, and you don't want to have bad air because that would mean people, you're just going to end up garbling. Slow it down a little. Feel free to have some spaces. Doesn't mean that you have to take forever to get your point across. Doesn't mean you have to take 50,000 words to say 3. It just means that you need to just give yourself some breathing space. But anyway, talk to the audience, not at them. Put that photograph behind the lens. It'll make a massive difference, trust me. The next thing, and this ties back into the blogging, which I was chatting about yesterday, is that you can take elements out of your blog and turn those into bullet points, because there's nothing worse, I feel, than a totally scripted video. If it has to be scripted, then so be it. But I feel actually telling your story, talking around your story, is something that everybody can do. Everybody understands the content that they've written. You've written something that's full of value, and all you're going to do is take out the main points, bullet point them, and talk around those main points. And then what do you do with those bullet points? Well, to stop yourself from talking to yourself in the screen, 1 second, and I will show you. So right now, I am very handsomely in the screen, and so are you, looking gorgeous, may I say. So let me just grab. This isn't a post-it note. This is just a note. But basically, you take your post-it note and you stick it there, and that way you can't see the screen. So it stops you even really wanting to look at the screen properly all the time because you can't see yourself. And also, it means you've got your little calling cards there, your bits to help you tell your story. So when you go live or when you record your video, if you're really completely against going live, you still have those points that you can talk around and understand where you're going with your story all the way through. You've written the blog. All you're going to do is make a piece of content connected to it. Ed says, alternatively, you can wear sunglasses, although you look a bit of a bell end. If it's a horrible day like it is today outside, I'm sat in a dark room, and yeah, you end up looking like Casey Neistat, who, to be fair, is pretty cool, but he can get away with it. I can't. So, yeah, like Casey Neistat does, there you go. So, yeah, it's a great way of getting around, talking to the lens, and also knowing what it is you're going to talk about. Put that post-it note across the screen, and then if you're using a tablet, use multiple post-it notes or use an A4 sheet of paper, whatever it is that you're going to use. Just stick it over the screen so you can't see yourself, and then you've got those bits that you can call back to. I'm not saying never ever take your eyes off the lens, because you might just need to now and again. I can take that off the screen, but hopefully everybody's got a note of that. Where is it? There it is. TW Recorder. I'm going to go check that out later on. That's the piece of software Ed was talking about, which is for what he would use for recording podcasts. Let's give it a go. Why not? If it's free, it's my favorite 4-letter word. Absolutely. So yeah, so there's a few tips for you when it comes to creating content that is going to speak to the audience rather than at them. Obviously, it's up to you what value you're giving. I can't help you build an audience if all you're doing is selling to people, or if you're not really giving any value to the audience. You've got to give a level of value to the audience, whether it be a point of entertainment, so they find you funny, or whether it be talking about a football club like my friend George does and Ed does, and people going, oh, you know what, I don't really agree with that point. I'm going to dive in, or actually, you know what, yeah, that match went that way because of X, Y, and Z. I totally agree with them. Whatever the content is, people are getting value from it. So you have to find the value that you can give. That will then help you build your niche audience. Whether your niche is talking about post-it notes, or whether your niche is anything else, whatever it could be, you're not going to have a massive audience necessarily connected to that niche, but those people who do get value from it will come back on a regular basis, as long as you're also creating consistently. Creating one video a month will not an audience make. You need to be creating regular content. Daily, not necessarily. If you want to do daily, brilliant, thumbs up, congratulations to you. Yeah, it's hard work. I did daily vlogs for 5 years. It is hard going, but it doesn't have to be daily, but at least maybe 2 or 3 times a week, especially right now when we have more time on our hands. Not necessarily loads of time on our hands, but we have slightly more time on our hands. So make the most of the time and create more content. And also don't forget that each one of those pieces of content that you're creating can be repurposed. I had mega issues yesterday with my internet connection. In fact, I still have them today. So I can't necessarily download this content, but I can download the audio and use that as a podcast. And I can take that audio and I can turn it into videos and upload it. So I can still get around stuff. You've just got to think outside the box a little bit and repurpose that content, make it work harder for you. And if you can do that daily, brilliant. But just, yeah, be consistent with your video content, make more of it. When it comes to YouTube, there are more ins and outs. And I think maybe we'll have a chat about YouTube specifically tomorrow, because there are things like thumbnails we maybe need to have a chat about, titling, your description box, meta tags, end slate cards, all those kind of things, I think kind of need to be covered off. Let's have a quick look at some of the comments. Don't forget, if you've got any questions at all, just chuck them into the comments wherever you are watching right now. I'm more than happy to answer as many comments as I probably can do, and that would be really cool. Let's have a look. 1 second, actually. I'm going to just see if I can invite somebody along to my live stream. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. This is the problem when you don't have a team working for you as well. You have to do everything yourself. I don't know. Here we go. Right, so if I do that, and do that, and do that, and where are we? So I do that. Sorry, just talk amongst yourselves for a moment. There we go. Brilliant. Right, okay, so that's them got in touch with. So where were we? More questions. Yes, so Miles asking, how's the rest of your family? Your famous mum, she was always on your old YouTube videos. She's very well. She's at home alone at the moment, obviously, social distancing. My sister goes and drops off her shopping now and again for her, but she's fine. She's, yeah, we chat every day. I try to keep her company a little bit, and Max and I use House Party. If you've not used House Party, by the way, check it out. It's really good fun. It's not being hacked. It's not a lot of, just don't believe the crap. Just download it and have some fun with it. You can invite loads of friends on there and have a house party. It's really cool. And you can lock the room as well, so not everybody else can dive in and join you, people you don't know. So don't worry too much about that. He also asks, how's Susanna doing? Susanna, if you don't know, is my wife. She's an NHS key worker, which is why during the day I am daddy daycare. And she's doing fine as well. Obviously, work is exceptionally hard at the moment. And yeah, she's Slovakian, so her family are struggling as well over in Slovakia because they're completely locked down in Slovakia. But it's all good. We're going to come out the other side of this eventually. And who knows, we might even be a better society for it. I don't know. And I'm not sure, but whatever. Anyway, questions, people. Brand and business and social media and video questions. What have you got to ask? What do you want to know? We'll go until 40, blimey, we're going 42 minutes. We'll go for another 3 minutes or so. If no more questions come through, and then we'll call it a day for today. But it's been awesome having Ed on the stream today, having the questions coming in as well. And yeah, it was really good fun. Miles is asking, did you clap the NHS staff? We did, Miles, last night. It was the last thing I said on my stream yesterday. Don't forget that today is the NHS clap side of things. So absolutely 100%. And obviously, Susanna being an NHS key worker, it would be rude of me not to give her a clap, not to give her the clap, but to give her a clap, because she's working absolutely crazy amount of hours. She's working hard, and yeah, bless her. It's not easy being an NHS key worker, just as it's not easy being daddy daycare either. But whatever, I can survive. I can live, and I get my work done at night and that kind of stuff. Anyway. Okay, well, the questions seem to have dried up. So I am going to say goodbye for today. Tomorrow, though, we will be chatting about YouTube, what you can do to help your content on YouTube get out to more people. There's a guy I know who's an absolute expert at this as well. I'm going to drop him a line straight after this and see if he fancies joining me on the live stream. If he doesn't, because he's busy, then that's just the way things are. But I have a few hints and tips I'm sure I can throw in your direction as well, which will help you make your content look, feel, get found a little bit better, and so on and so forth. Massive thanks to your wife and her colleagues. Absolutely. There's so many people who are going absolutely out of the way to make sure life's a lot better, be it the dustmen who are just driven past our window right now, supermarket workers, NHS key workers, just generally key workers, full stop. They are they're all working really, really hard. Anyway, right, I'm going to go and have some lunch, soon as I've probably got another hour and 15 of quiet time until Max wakes up. So until then, thank you very much for watching. As always, please do hit subscribe if you have not already subscribed to the channel that you're watching this on, and also why not share it as well. Whatever channel you're watching on right now, there is a way of sharing this content to your audience so more people can listen or watch this piece of content. or maybe get involved next time, which would be really cool. Ed, many thanks for letting me join the stream, Simon. I'll stay in contact and happily come on again. Awesome, mate. What we'll do then is we'll set a date when you've got your final coursework in and you know what your grade is, whether you've got like a first or a 2-1 or a 2-2 or a third. I'm guessing you're a first kind of guy. Then we will get you on and we'll find out how Ed did in his degree. Don't forget as well, if you are brand new to these streams, you can go and join my group on Facebook, How to 9 Times Your Social Media. Get yourself into that group. You can download my book, my former #1 book, absolutely free. Will not cost you a penny. How to 9 Times Your Social Media. It comes out as an ebook. You can basically download it, read it, get some value from it. Chuck me any questions you want as well. I'll answer as many as I possibly can do. Get you on that content creation journey. And like I say, it is totally free. You have to fill out some details. But if you don't want to sign up to my newsletter, you don't have to. Don't feel you have to click yes just because you're getting something for free. Say no, still get the book. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference to me. I just want to get you started creating some content. So feel free to, just download it and say no to the newsletter. If you do say yes to the newsletter, awesome. Thumbs up to you. You're going to get some awesome content. The next newsletter is going out today. I need to finish it off, which I'll do on my phone because thankfully I use MailChimp and I can do stuff on my phone through MailChimp. And yeah, you'll get a great newsletter later on today if you download it right now. And if you do have any questions at all and you feel a bit shy to ask them on the stream, then that's absolutely fine. If you don't want to ask them on the stream, drop me an email. It's scrolling along at the bottom right there. And we can either chat privately on email or we can have a Skype call, or I could take a question that you've emailed to me, take your name out of it and all that kind of stuff, and just answer the question anyway on a live stream, maybe even tomorrow's. So feel free to drop me an email. Anyway, until then, thank you so much for watching as always. 46 minutes. That's not a bad bit of fun, is it? Anyway, right, I will catch you guys tomorrow. It will be 11 o'clock tomorrow, actually. I was going to say hopefully, but it will definitely be 11 o'clock tomorrow. Susanna has a day off. Brilliant. So she can watch Max and I can go live at 11 tomorrow morning. So take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay inside. Make sure you still keep socially distancing. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.